We're coming in hot. Welcome back, everybody, to the PCC. I'm back with Spuds the Tuber and Trix. We are in Game 3 of the Grand Finals. Even worse timing versus Dirty Lake and the Boys. Will Dirty Lake and the Boys turn things around, or is even worse timing going to continue to have the better time out here? Let's move on to the draft. You kind of mentioned, Spuds, that they need to ban Rampage here in order for things to actually turn around for Dirty Lake and the Boys. Do you think they'll actually do that, or do you think they won't?
I think they will. I think Ray on Rampage has shown enough presence around and enough engages and confirms into kills that they think he's probably a problem at this point.
Oh my goodness. And as we speak, they actually banned Bellica. I don't even know what to say, because that means even worse timing is going to lock in on Rampage. And then I feel like Trix. Oh my goodness. Trix, tell me what's going on in your head right now.
So it's always interesting to me to see the Bellica ban. Like, so many times, I guess if you never let it through, you don't know how much of a priority pick it is. But I completely understand the Rampage ban coming out of even worse timing, letting Dirty Lake and the Boys first pick it, because the draft order here has been reversed. Dirty Lake and the Boys have picked second in the past two games. So even worse time was able to get away with that Muriel ban first. But having Rampage picking second, you just don't want to let it through for your team. I'm glad to see even worse timing, making up for the mistakes of Dirty Lake and the Boys, showing them how draft is meant to be done. But Spuds, there's your decker.
They had to prioritize her. There were extra range on her stun, the follow-up with wall, and whatever they could actually pick after this is going to be huge for them in the dual lane.
Yeah, she's just an incredibly solid pick. I really like her. I think she fits into so many comps, whether you want to run a pick comp, whether you want to run a mobility comp. If you're anti-engage, disengage, re-engage, she just does it all. Her cage is so useful, the long-range stun, the ultimate big in team fights. We saw a couple of those come out last game. Kira and Moragesh, oh my gosh. I just don't like that Dirty Lake and the Boys is letting Shin, play his comfort pick 3 games in a row.
I feel like them picking up both Kira and Morgesh are just comfort picks. We've seen the first game, even worse timing was going solid with Kira. Shin, I don't know how they're doing. I'm bad at Morgesh, so them just being able to clear lane and still be a presence on the map is blowing my mind right now. I want to see where Dirty Lake and the Boys goes with this, because I feel like they should somehow try to get Snoop off of a comfort pick. I feel like they've been letting the solo lane run too wild in their last 2 games.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if it's a comfort pick as much as it's a comfort play style at this point. They're letting him sit in the solo lane. I like the Crunch pick up. There's not many 1v1s that Crunch loses, and putting Lakeinator back on that Rdawggg. We've seen how effective he is with those traps, the Decker stun into the trap. He's so fast on it. The timing on that is pretty tight too. So it's always impressive to see somebody that can combo the traps with their team CC so much. And I think after last game, I think it's important to, get Lake and Toasty on comfort picks.
Absolutely. And they have a Richter and Shinbi coming out. I am lost on where to go with this one from here. I do not know what we'll be seeing here. Maybe Richter supporter jungle, Shinbi offlane? I have no idea where they're taking these roles at.
I think it's going to be the Shinbi offlane, and I think even worse timing is kind of, with the exception of the Rampage, I think they're just picking hey, what if we just did characters that we like to play? Pablo has played Kira whenever it's available. Shin has played Moragesh. And then the Snoop on the Shinbi, we've seen he's a menace. Shinbi into Crunch, I think Crunch can win it, but I mean, it's if Ray walks over into the offlane, gets Snoop his Megacosm before Crunch can get his Mutilator, then that lane, the Snoop's going to snowball it, and he's shown us, hey, I'm going to sit in this lane, and I'm going to push down your inhibitor. But the Faye and the Sevarog coming out, so we know Shinbi and the Sevarog, that matchup, it's not that great for the Sevarog, in my opinion.
I feel like the Faye pickup is probably going to round out their team really well. They didn't have a whole lot of huge team CC, but with the Faye pickup, they have a lot of that. Richter has his ult, he has the pull, he can hit multiple people without needing to be too into the enemy team. Same thing with the Faye. Sevarog has, the knockback, he can invade and all that. And then pickup for Faye's on the enemy team?
Is it going to be Richter jungle, I'm guessing, then?
I thought we were going to get Shinbi jungle at first, but never mind. I thought Richter was going to probably go into the support role, but I think I'm wrong here. I don't think we'll be seeing any Shinbi or jungle phase from Even Worse Timing today.
Yeah, and honestly, that's one element of drafting that's really underrated in my opinion, is just the last pick, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, those characters aren't playing where I thought they were. And now that changes the whole dynamic of the team, and Dirty Lake and the boys draft maybe isn't looking as good as it was before the phase pickup.
I'm right there with you. I was thinking that I was probably going to switch my vote to Dirty Lake and the boys for this one, but seeing the phase come out with the Richter jungle, I see a whole lot more CC and a whole lot wombo comboing still being able to happen on with Even Worse Timing.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. Ray has been a menace on the Rampage. He's shown his ability to hit CC from outside of the fog walls. With the Richter, it's more of the same, and it's just as bad for Dirty Lake and the boys.
Yeah, and I think we saw Ray on that Richter when we were watching some of the early series, earlier games in the semis. Ray on that Richter, he's shown how much of a player, how much of a jungler he is and how much of a monster he can be. Especially with Richter, I think he'll be able to make those plays that Even Worse Timing will need. But who knows, right? I do think that this is going to be a really, really good game. This is game number 3, you guys. Game number 3. Is this going to be the last, or are we going to keep going? Is Dirty Lake and the boys going to continue? Spuds, any other last remarks or anything that stands out to you when we were looking at that draft sheet?
The draft, not so much. Just hyped to see this next game. Even Worse Timing already has 2 nails in the coffin. The monster with 10 arms is just running down the enemy team. The AI team called Even Worse Timing, I think, is just going to take this next one.
All right, Trix, any other last thoughts that you want to mention before we turn it over to Lance and TJ?
Anything's possible. I'm hoping for a Christmas miracle. Dirty Lake and the boys reverse sweep, maybe. I don't know.
Who knows? But I know we are very much looking forward to this match. So please, Lance and TJ, take it away.
We are back with you for potentially the last game of the day. Hopefully a little bit more after that. I always just love seeing some more predecessor. But TJ, other than Ray on the Richter, which I'm going to be referring to as the Richter, what else are you looking to see that's a little bit different from these drafts and these comps that we haven't seen in these other games?
A little bit different, sure. So for Dirty Lake and the boys, I'm actually really liking this draft. Is that it feels like it's encouraging them to being a lot more proactive, right? You want to see these rotations coming out. You want to see Crunch and Faye being very active in these rotations, making their presence known in front of jungle. Seeing Severog for the first time this series as well, so you have got that late game potential, and you're able to kind of play around it as well. So I think there's a lot to look forward to here for the Lake of the boys. This might just be their best chance here, but so we have got a little bit of an invade coming out from Even Worse Timing, looking to try and find a pick onto someone, but I think they just dropped the ward and they just pieced out.
Yeah, that level 1 of Even Worse Timing, anytime you have a Richter on your team, it's terrifying if you're 5-pointed at level 1. The other characters on their team, other than kind of the phase, have a little bit weaker level 1s. However, the pull into the energy lance means anybody that they would find would be dead. So great safe 5-point for them to walk in, get that blue warded up for them, have an idea of where Grady might be staying at, where he might be starting, and then, play accordingly. Ray's always looking to do reactive moves to where the jungler's at, proactive moves, I guess, to where the jungler is at. Get in there, get good rotations, get his lanes ahead again. And this is the last chance for Dirty Lake and the boys, so it's time to bring your A game.
If there's ever a time to take this game by the scruff of the neck and run with it, this is the time you have to do it, because as you say, this is the last chance saloon. Even Worse Timing are on championship points in this grand finals. One more win and they will walk away with the crown. They'll walk away with the prize pool. And right now, Dirty Lake and the boys are not happy about that in the slightest. Lake Nature and Toasty being very aggressive, but Hammers, be careful, because Ray's in the vicinity. Hits the Horric Flash as well, and that's first blood secured for Even Worse Timing.
Yeah, that leaves Toasty alone in this lane at level 1 as well, which is a terrifying place to be at if you are a support. Vecron might get a long range energy lance out. That might be the end of Toasty. He's gonna have to play safe here. We're gonna start to see it. The double jump is gonna make it so it's unable to land. That's, you know, good for Toasty to be able to stay alive here. Not great for Dirty Lake and the boys, as Lakeinator's gonna be behind them. Gonna get his level 2 second, his level 3 second. The whole shebang-a-bang is gonna be behind when 6 comes. That is not who you want to get first blooded if you want anybody on your team to get first blooded, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, just a bit of an aside here as well, when talking about Ray obviously being able to take that Richter pick, which has been denied from an even worse timing squad throughout this set, is that when I'm writing down a draft in my notebook, I always write down who is the ban. Instead of writing Rampage, I actually wrote Ray as the ban, because I think that might be what they have to do at this point, because it doesn't matter what pick they take. Ray has just been an absolute monster throughout this set, and even on the Richter as well. That is a 100% Riplash conversion rate as well.
Yeah, he probably didn't miss any of the minions that he tried to clear the camps with as well. So batting 100 right now. I see you trying to put that caster curse on your fellow EU server person Ray there. So we as Americans do appreciate you trying to let Dirty Lake and the boys back into this game.
Hey, I want more predecessor, man.
We do have the energy lance coming down on a Lakeinator. Not enough ticks in order to be able to make him rooted, though. Toshi's going to put him in a cage, and they're just going to have to give that up really quick. I'm not sure who I saw get that gold buff. I do believe that it was Pablo. However, the long range ball isn't going to land. That's going to send the energy lance out, make Lakeinator have to retreat, but Pablo falls a little low to Toasty. Going to get yoinked back in by Vecron, though, and just be safe under his tier 1 tower. Probably looking to reset here. Ooh, Grady's got his eyes on him, though. Yeah, see if he can get a good slide in. Oh, wow. Pablo's going to get away with just a sliver of health there. Unfortunate for Grady, as that kill would have been very nice for his pockets.
And especially onto the priority member as well, try and shut it down. But this is what Pablo is like when knowing Vecron has been playing this phase as well. I think, you know, Crush said it best.
And here he is again.
For it. Ray making a move, but there it is now, down to 50%. But Shin actually gonna blink with the follow, looking for the mark, looking for the damage over time. Will tank the tower a little bit, but the mark finds the kill, and Shin is able to get one back in the mid lane.
Right, and very aggressive of him there. Knows he only needs to land one more auto attack before he does not care if he is auto attacking from across the pond, as I do believe Shin is European, correct? Doesn't matter. Correct. He hits the auto attack on the ping, able to jump into that tier 1 tower. No, he probably has a couple of shots before that tower is going to kill him as well. That's going to be Appy falling down. Now 2 kills to 0 in favor of Even Worse Timing, who are looking to become our next champion.
Yeah, and if that happens as well, we're going to actually have our first back-to-back champion player, because Pablo was on royalty last event, and this will be a two-peat, the first time we've ever had a two-peat returning champion. So yeah, we're breaking new ground here.
You had me in the first half there. I'm not going to lie to you, TJ. I thought you were about to say that Even Worse Timing won our last event. Nice little swap over to Pablo there. You had me for sure. But that's very true. Pablo will be winning yet another predecessor tournament. If he was able to take this, he did take an early LOL lobby tournament as well. So not a lot of room left in the trophy case over there in the Wazowski household as it stands right now. Looking to add another bucket to the shelf.
Yeah, and maybe even trying to go for a future Crashy MVP award as well. But it's fine. Maybe we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. Of course, we're only 5 minutes in, and Even Worse Timing have only just got 2 kills. You know, don't get me wrong that you know, they have an advantage, and when they have been able to get this lead and generate it through their play, they've been able to convert it every single time. But again, Lakeinator and Toasty keeping the pressure up. But Ray is here once again. Riplash onto a static target. Lakeinator has got to commit the blink, but you can see the dot starting to take effect. He's got a health pot as well. 40 HP drop down to Vecron. Maybe might be able to confirm this with an auto attack, but Lakeinator has just walked out there with less than 50% HP. The rest of the squad turning up. Gratty's able to get Lakeinator out.
How does Lake survive that? He's just chugging health pots in the back as he's running away down the stairs there. Ray and Vecron are kind of converging on him there. He kind of just runs right through the middle of them like a good running back. He's able to get out of that. However, that is going to hand over the first thing to Even Worse Timing. A little bit of an advantage on their side. Some local gold for Pablo and Vecron for being here while it's falling as well. And the Raker up to 66% on the hooks, even though that one does not convert to a kill. Still the pressure that they need to take the neutral objective.
Yeah, for sure here. And again, this is just what even worse timing have just become. This is how they have developed their name for this tight play. That is the earliest Fangtooth of the entire series as well. That was 6 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock, I believe, before that was taken as well. And all of that local goal being funneled into Pablo, funneled into Vectron, standout players, you know, making plays, and Ray assisting where they can as well.
Right, and we're just trying to get some stacks onto Nitro here. I think what Dirty Lake and the boys were trying to do when they locked these champions in is they said, hey, we got our backs up against the wall. We got to go for comfort. So you see Nitro here on the big comfortable champion in the off lane with the Sephiroth trying to stack up and get himself to that late game. We know Appy plays a lot of the Fae. Lakeinator is like known for his Murdoch. Toasty's a big Decker fan as well. So everybody, Grady's also really big on Crunch as well. I kind of would have liked to see him lock the Chimera in because I know he loves Kai a lot. But, you know, just comfort picks for Dirty Lake and the boys trying to do what feels good for them and what feels natural for them so they don't have to think about what they're doing and just make the plays when it needs to be played. Yeah. So far, that hasn't necessarily worked out for their advantage with that two kill and Fangtooth advantage for even worse timing, but doing what they can to hang on. Great effort and great showing today by Dirty Lake and the boys, regardless of what happens here.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. And, you know, this is just, it feels like even worse time, the planets have aligned for them. Like some of the plays that they're making, it feels like the boys just haven't really been able to find much of an answer. But Gratty, though, decides to shut me up a little bit there. Able to get the pick onto Shin and actually get themselves on the board as well. Ray showing left-hand side of the jungle into that mid lane gank, you know, on a very immobile character as the Morigesh. You know, it pays off. Gratty, you know, gets one on the board.
A little bit before that 9-minute, even or odd minute mark. So Shin's in there trying to set some vision up, trying to drop a ward down so he can safely get in and take that. Gratty's smart enough to realize that he's going to be warding prematurely there, try to get it out for him to be safe. Catches him at the right spot, and Gratty the baddie puts him in spectator mode.
Absolutely, sending him back to spawn with a death timer. So you can see here, you know, Gratty maybe got a bit of the adrenaline pumping, immediately going in towards the blue side jungle for Dirty Lake in the foot. But even worse timing, sorry, you know, trying to catch on to the Snoop as well. It's trying to take some camps as well, but unable to convert the kill. Ray as well did make their presence known. It's just going to be a very simple back away. I think it's important for Dirty Lake and the boys, you know, just even though like this is the time where you have to make the Hail Marys, there's no chances left. And as soon as you lose your core, that is it. That is the grand finals over. You walk away with second place, but not the crown that you're after. Is that you still have to play restrained. We've seen that Lakeinator and Toasty push up to the tier 1 tower, and Ray just happens to be there every single time, and they can't afford to let that repeat happen as well. So, you know, 10 minutes in, it's only 2 kills to 1 for now. I just want to maybe get a little look at that tab screen to see like how the CS is looking, because we've seen how even worse time have been able to create a lead, but for now, you know, it's only what 20 CS across the board, really. So yeah, you know, keeping things level, but the Snoop just hit 100 CS there as 20 CS difference on Nitro.
Yeah, and that's a better pace than Dirty Lake and the boys has been setting in the last 2 matches. So they're in this a little bit deeper than they were before. We see Ray once again coming over to this dual lane. See if he's going to go fishing for Toasty here. It doesn't look like he is. Gratty's going to meet him over here by the ledge by the 3s. Ray's going to hook him really quick and then just kind of drop down the ledge as he knows he's got no kill pressure there. Pretty low in the mana bar section as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that is one of the things with Richter as well, is that you've got to make every single one of your abilities count. He's a very mana-hungry boy, is the Richter. And so, you know, we've got to hit those hooks. And thankfully, you know, Ray's been doing that. Ray has been having a very strong start and a very, very strong series performance from the even worse timing jungler as well. But, you know, 12 minutes in, with that early Fangtooth as well, they're going to have the second Fangtooth spawning in just a matter of moments. Lakeinator just dicing with death there. Not sure. I kind of had a heart in my mouth moment as he's trying to cancel a recall on Ray with the Richter. You're expecting someone to be behind the curtain, so to speak. But no, Ray's just going to let him pass.
That is a really good job by Lakeinator to try to slow them down there a little bit. As you saw, we've talked so much throughout this series about how even worse timing plays as one giant collective unit. I believe Spud called them the monster with 10 arms, correct? So you see that the Fangtooth is spawning right now. The duo lane for even worse timing was backing one spot back. I don't know if Lakeinator could see that or not, but Ray and them were trying to back in unison so they could make a push towards Fangtooth all together, and that slows Ray down from joining them for about 8 seconds.
Oh, meanwhile, though, Gratty going for the rotation on towards the right-hand side. Nitro confirms with the colossal blow, and that's going to take 2 for 2 in the kills. Lakenator on the left-hand side getting involved with the long arm of the law, but even worse timing, jumping now towards the Fangtooth pit. Ray takes the status bomb to the face, but it's going to be undeterred. Another beam over the top of the wall, but with the Slay available to them, that's going to be a very easy secure coming out for Ray, and even worse timing, grab the second neutral.
And that is a result of being able to, sacrifice Snoop, I'm saying with air quotes out there. Gratty's on the other side of the map. They know that neutral objective is open, as we were just talking about them all basing in unison to go move for it. They were already on their way there. Once they see that Gratty appears on the other side of the map, they know for sure they can pull that trigger. They jump on immediately, take it down. Great job out of even worse timing, just to be able to make the macro play across the map. That's what it takes to win games in the style they have, where there's not a lot of kills on the board. However, they've just got massive objective leads over everybody. That's how they're obtaining stuff like that.
Yeah, Grassy's trying to make something happen, though. Another rotation coming in. Appy Picker as well. The fly trap, the CC, the body blocking is beautiful coming out by Dirty Lake and the boys. They find 2 kills outside the solo lane as well, with a neutral objective in their vicinity as well. But that, another good swing. Dirty Lake and the boys finding important picks and are really starting to lead their mark. The mini prime will be started up as well. As we knew with, if Grassy's on the other side of the map, hey, we could take the Fangtooth. If Ray is dead, this is just a free mini prime for Gratty or whoever it's going to be secured. And yeah, Gratty will take the safe option and will secure it with his own hunt.
He absolutely does, and that is perfect for them. We see how big the mini prime has been in these other matches, how much work even worse timing's been able to do with it. So hopefully Dirty Lake and the boys are able to use Gratty a little bit better with it in this match. Get a couple of those objectives down, try to get themselves a goal lead, try to do what they can to get ahead, as I believe that the kills are either tied up or slightly in Dirty Lake and the boys' advantage right now, actually, as the Snoop has fallen twice in this game already over in that duo lane through these fights. So, maybe a little bit of an opportunity for Dirty Lake and the boys to be the one in the aggression spot, be the ones pressuring even worse timing for a change to see if they can play from that style as well as they can as when they are ahead.
Yeah, they definitely just need to keep leveraging this as well. Gratty really stepping up as well. But meanwhile, duo side, Pablo and Vecron still making a presence. No, Pablo's going to follow through. Iron Strike coming down, can't catch on towards the Kira and will be pulled back by the link from Vecron. Able to keep their carry alive. You did see as well, it looked like Gratty was just looming around as well if that fight carried on going. But this is what we needed to see, is very proactive Appy Picker. Now dealing with Shin as well. Might have to take the recall here, just waiting for that damage over time to end so he can channel the recall himself. But Shin's just in a pretty good spot. You're going to secure a rip-off. Actually,
is it enough?
It's nearly going to catch. But this is the thing, right? That was delaying the recall. I think Appy Picker might have thought they just got the recall off, and then the curse comes down, and that just delays it even further.
And the other really smart thing about Shin there is he went to check that river buff because he knew it was up, saw it was pink, was okay, I got a little bit extra damage to my ability powers, takes it, and then ults him too, which is just, real stylish. I like that a lot. That's like composure that you can see from somebody who's played a lot of the game, knows his way around the map and how to put the most damage out possible that he can. Double root there from Vecron with a big long energy lance. I do just have to say, energy lance is my favorite ability in the game, not because I like the ability. I'll leave it up to you to figure out why I'm a big fan of that. But we got a little bit of pressure coming in here onto the duo lane, a whole minion wave, and Ray is lurking behind that fog wall as well. See if Toasty and Lake decide to get aggressive, but it looks like Ray might just continue to hang out, move back towards the second entrance of it, which is too bad because Toasty did just face check where Ray was standing at. And here it comes. No. Skewers are going to come out. The hook is going to miss, though, and there shouldn't be any other CC to be able to stop Toasty and Lakenator from jumping back into their tower. Toasty's going to hit him with a lacrosse ball on his way out, too.
Yeah, just a bit of a shame there. You know, the execution kind of fails even worse timing in that regard as well. Just Skewer just slightly out of range by the looks of things on towards Lakenator there. Now, you know, you have to feel that would have been probably a confirmed kill with a follow-up, but now Gratty wanting to punish on towards his duo side. Vecron is able to get away and pull back Pablo once more.
Yeah,
such a difficult. It's so difficult to get a lockdown onto Pablo because Vecron has just been really on point with these pullbacks.
So I had said it at the very beginning of our initial group stage that I was expecting to see some FaZe because she's kind of a really high skill level champion where if you really know what you're doing, and really quick, it looks like they're just gonna pop Shin down, just gonna kind of catch him moving in towards Appy Picker there. Lakenator's gonna be able to get behind the wall here to stop the energy lance from hitting him as well. But really quick, what I was saying is just how safe somebody like FaZe can keep your carry when it's played well with two people that are in synergy. Pablo and Vecron have been playing together forever, and that's why you're seeing so much success out of this FaZe series.
Oh, for sure. As I say, it's the 10-arm team really that's coming out here, and the Fangtooth will be secured by Dirty Lake and the boys. And you know, we are seeing signs of life coming out here at Lance. You know, this is a team that are not going to go down without a fight. I think they, if we were to look at the tab screen, I don't think they have the CS lead, but right now they have the momentum going their way. They still keep finding the picks, but this is just insane to me, right, Lance, is that this is a, that's 70 CS lead coming out for the side of even worse timing?
That's
nuts.
It is. I also want to put, I think that is the first Fangtooth Dirty Lake and the boys have gotten in this grand finals so far today.
Yes.
Which, you know, kudos to them for not getting skunked, not having to sit underneath the table for the next game. But, you know, they're going to need more than one. The Primal Fangtooth is the next one that is up. I also don't believe we've seen a single Primal Fangtooth get taken throughout this series yet as well. So there's an opportunity to see one of those. We may have gotten one in game one, but just even worse timing has been winning so quick, and they're pursuing Gratty over here in his red side jungle. Going to turn around and get a little bit of hunting or punching off, but Shin's going to throw a dagger through him and going to put him back into his base for the next 30 seconds as well. They do have this in sidetrack, but I do not believe Mini Prime is going to spawn before it's going to turn into Big Orb Prime. So no neutral objective on the map for them to be able to pick up after getting Gratty.
Yeah, it's just going to be the pick. It's just going to be the ward as well. Toasty having to be so careful as well because Ray's still in the vicinity. The energy lance from the top ropes, nearly finding a route on towards Appy Picker. Toasty's able to throw that lacrosse ball, but everyone just steps to the left, steps to the right, and it goes straight down the middle as well. The curse coming out. Epoch, though, will be used from Appy Picker. That's going to be a big cooldown utilized at least, but the Fade does remain alive and will be able to complete this recall. Rotation from duo sides to protect the tier 1 tower. Even worse timing, though, just starting to tighten the vice a little bit here, lads.
Yeah, just, you know, getting closer and closer. They can smell that money getting Venmo to them right now from Prime Championship Circuit. They want the glory that comes with being the champion. We're more or less the only tournament series that is around and active in this game right now. There is only one champion, and they're looking to walk away with the belt over their shoulder, hold it up high, you know. The champion gets the girls, the champion gets the gold, the champion gets the glory, and that's what they're looking for here. Pablo's already got a little bit of taste of that. He wants to share it with his friends, his customary duo lane partner in Vecron as well, and they have come to dominate, and that is what we've seen from them today.
Yeah, definitely the real prize, though, is going to be the gold role that you get inside the PCC Discord.
Ooh, I forgot.
Now that's the real prize there.
You get a little logo next to your name too, so anytime you type anywhere, everybody has to listen to your opinion, because what are they going to say to the champ, you know?
It's like, well, if you disagree, you just gotta enter the next event, you know? It's just how it goes.
A great opportunity for them to spread some misinformation. Keep the people below them down further, you know? They wouldn't do that. They're good guys. They're not gatekeeping, but we got to get back onto the topic of this game because we do have some really interesting things happening in front of us. We've got, you know, probably about 1.5 to 2 minutes before that Primordial Fangtooth is going to spawn. We do have the Orb Prime active and available on the map. All 5 members up for both teams. And everywhere we look, every time we switch perspectives from one person to the next, we see a ward. Everybody's walking through wards on both teams. Both of these teams are doing a pretty damn good job of getting vision line out. I would say especially even worse timing has just like every time we switch to a member of Dirty Lake and the boys, they are just on a ward somewhere. So, you know, really great job by Even Worse Timing. That's how they're kind of making another one of the factors that's helping them make these really big macro plays all across the map. But just really good job of these guys knowing where everybody's at all of the time.
Yeah, definitely going to be knowledge is half of the battle. Just have a look over towards this solo side now. Shin making a rotation, looking towards Nitro. Actually going to try and re-engage with the
aggro.
Going to blink for the insect. The colossal blow coming down because Reinforced Center Rider, Duo Lane have turned up. So have Appy Picker as well. All 5 members of Dirty Lake and the boys. The boys have rocked up, and Epoch Stasis comes out from Shin, but will be the first target. The Morogesh will drop by the Cyan buff, and they have their first pick. Pablo split pushing on the left-hand side, but what else can they get? Ray will re-engage. The skewer comes down, and Soup's able to pick up that one. A nice double knock-up coming out from Grass as well. Lakenator pumping the damage out, and it's going to force Blinks away from the AD carry that is Lakenator. Happy Picker still behind this shadow curtain as well, but it's going to be the disengage coming out. It's a 1-for-1 overall, but I think it's going to be favoring Even Worse Timing because Pablo is just taking another tower.
How do they keep winning 4v5s? I do not understand. They don't have their AD carry. He's on the other side of the map, takes the tier 2 tower, even though Nitro roams over to defend it. And even though one member dies for both teams there, it is in favor of Even Worse Timing getting that tier 2 tower. They're going to pick up Lakenator in the middle lane as well. Snoop's probably going to fall down to Grady here as he doesn't. Oh, Vecron's
Vecron.
Oh my goodness, Vecron. The saver. Vecron, I can't even believe the way that Even Worse Timing is taking these 4v5s and like with such confidence the entire time. It's baffling me.
I know, it is actually crazy to watch just the synergy coming out. Friendship is the name of the game in this tournament. That's what we have said with team play coming out, and also Vecron just piloting this phase. And I have to say, like, you know, the phase is a pick we do not see very often, but I think after this game we might be seeing a lot more of it. We've unlocked the potential. But now the All Prime started up by Even Worse Timing will be still alive. Gratty walking forwards. Does take a little bit of damage. Going to be the back away. Ray looking for the rip flash. Going to find it over towards the prize target. Going to throw down a skewer as well. And they have managed to grab onto the support. Nitro still dealing with members. Ray very low, looking for a pick. Energy Lance can't find the root. Ray can't find the rip flash either. It's only going to be the pick onto Toasty, but they're still hunting for more. Gratty finds himself split up, having to forward crunch away from this onslaught. And Even Worse Timing, just starting to evict members of Dirty Lake and the boys out of their own jungle.
Yeah, that is going to get the job done for Dirty Lake and the boys as they needed to peel them off that Orb Prime. Toasty's sacrifice is very well appreciated by the rest of the boys over here and Dirty Lake himself. However, that does look like they're going to lose the tier 2 on the opposite side of the map as well. So only that middle tier 2 is going to be up to help defend Lake and the boys core. That is, you know, a good consolation prize. As once again, we say, you know, they did the right thing by keeping them off of Orb Prime. But, you know, they're always looking to be aggressive for Even Worse Timing. So they just take that grouping that they have, they move it directly over to that tier 2 tower, and that's still a gold advantage and a gold net for Even Worse Timing once again.
Yeah, the motto of this team is nothing is given for free at this point. You are always having to trade something across the map, be it a minion wave, be it an entire tower. Nothing is going to be taken for free, as you know, members of Lake Boys have an inkling here about the All Prime, and actually going to commit 5 members. You know, Shin is in mid lane, and no Snoop is shown left hand side as well. Ray is in the vicinity, so might be able to steal it away, but this is walking into 5 members. A possible big team fight brewing. Subjugate will land on towards Ray. They're going to colossal blow him into the team. Grassy hits another knockup, but there's just no damage landing onto Ray. The Riplash will not land either, so can't pull someone back. That's a big commit though onto Ray. Can't find anything though. Shin in the Epoch stays buying time. Long arm of the law, perfectly timed, able to take down Shin, and the mid lane of Even Worse Timing will drop. It's a 4 versus 5, but look at the Snoop. He's taking the inhib at this point here. Now what did those the boys want to do, as the members are grouped up? This inhib most likely will go down. But even
look how much time. Sorry to interrupt you, TJ. Look how much time they're just wasting there for them. They're taking this. It's a 3v5 at this point, and Dirty Lake and the boys cannot disengage from this fight and get themselves back, and that's going to be the inhibitor falling because of it. What?
Yeah, Snoop with Snoop with the split pushing, making the plays happen. Lakenator having to blink away from this from the energy lance coming out from Vecron. He's been setting up so much, but with low health bars, Rdawggg and the boys have to back away, and this opens the door for even worse timing to have Prio on this All Prime, and they're gonna start it up again.
Right, and with no vision down for Rdawggg and the boys, they have to hunch that they're here, but they cannot know for sure. They're gonna have to just kind of trust themselves, jump into this pit, try to have Grady get a good steal off onto it, but I don't know that they're in any sort of position for this. Yeah, everybody's so far away. They should have the damage to be able to finish this up pretty much before anybody even gets there.
Ooh. Oh, Red Walkers, the big combo, the big damage coming out. They grab the members. Look at the health bars drop here as they find a huge combo and take the All Prime from even worse timing. What a play coming out.
Ask and you shall receive as Rdawggg and the boys show up at the perfect amount of time. I really thought that even worse timing was going to have the damage to be able to burst that down super quick, but the wombo combo comes out a amazing Rift Walkers out of Toasty there, pulling two of them in, hitting them with that Decker ult, exactly what they needed, and now they've got their eyes on the other big buff of the map, the Primordial Fangtooth, and if they get this, the damage that they will have for the next team fight is unmanageable for even worse timings comp to deal with.
Yeah, it's just going to be Shin and it's going to be the Snoopers. It looks like just in the crucial moments of this game, looks like we're having issues with the spectate mode at the moment. As looks like we have got it resuming at least, so we do apologize for that. As it looks like Rdawggg was able to secure the double buffs on the back of it as well. Gratty is kind of stuck inside of the pit as well. Nitro Subjugate will land. The Colossal Blow coming back as well. Gratty just getting so much damage down as Appy Picker throws down the ultimate. Is able to pull members in, and Rdawggg and the boys, they are feeling revitalized. They are ready for this one. No more members from even worse timing coming back. They are at least able to take down members, so it's not for free, but it's going to be so important. Even worse timing are able to remove 3 All Prime and 3 Primal Fangtooth buffs off of this team in one hit. The retreat comes out. It's Nitro and Toasty get away.
Yeah, and all the real true damage dealers for Rdawggg and the boys have lost that Primal Fangtooth. All the wave pushers have lost the Prime buff. Nitro can do a little bit of split pushing, but his wave clear isn't super fantastic in comparison to some of these other ones. That is a really good pace resetter for even worse timing, as all the momentum had swung into Rdawggg and the boys. If even worse timing loses that fight, there's a good chance that they might not lose the game off of it, but that the gold swing is so strong one direction that they could not overcome and come back from that. That was a massive Hail Mary out of even worse timing, and Randy Moss catches it in the end zone.
For sure, it definitely makes it work. And you know what? After that Primal Fangtooth has been taken, Lance, I was going to probably have to break my bias EU casting here to say that, you know what? I think Rdawggg and the boys might be able to take this game. I was thinking like, wow, this might be it. This might be the big swing, because with even worse timing, they have been so far ahead for so much of this set, so much of this entire tournament. We haven't really seen them playing on the defense here, playing against momentum into them. So we would have been able to see what they can do when they're actually having to be in their own inhibs, even though, to be honest, they take inhibs and claim them for themselves. Doesn't matter what side of the map it's going to be on here. But, buys time, 30 minutes in, we go back to this situation where it's all going to come down to the rotation, going to come down to the team fights. Double buffs from All Prime and Primal Fangtooth remain on side of Nitro, remain on Toasty as well. But it's there's going to be some more team fights in here, Lancers. At this stage of the game, item builds 3 to 4 items strong here. Take me through what you see, man.
So we've got the right things out of Grady. He needs to have that Brutal Axe because he's got to be able to clear it. The Void Helm is incredibly strong, especially into all of the magic damage that is on the other team with I guess Crunch does physical, but Sevrogg's going to be dealing magic. Faye's going to be dealing magic. You got to have that. It's just a busted item right now. We saw a whole lot of other great things. The item or the build for Pablo is very, very close to being done. Lakenator's getting strong for himself as well. Yeah, let's take a look really quick. Pablo is at 4 items, got the attack speed buff to him as well. Snoop's got the World Breaker finish, the Flush Matrix on himself as well to deal a little bit extra damage when he's in that short range. Got the Marshal off onto Vecron, and like the cooldown reduction that Vecron's got, his ability to spam his ultimates to keep his people safe. All of the different things that come with that are so impressive. And I think that at the end of this, we're going to look if Even Worse Timing wins this at like Pablo or potentially at Snoop for a potential MVP of this. But I got to throw my hat in the ring for Vecron and the times that he has denied gold from Even Worse Timing by being able to save people at 1 health.
Oh, Nitro's gonna try and make a claim for putting himself in the hat though for this one, looking for a subjugate onto members, but Even Worse Timing do kite this one out. Energy Lance coming out as well. Can't find a pick. The Toast is still from the top ropes as well. Maybe looking for another Rift Walker's play. Maybe looking for the Iron Strike combination, as it looks like members grouping in towards the blue side of Dirty Lake and the boys. Still going for the siege, as we have no buffs on either members now. It's not purely on the items, it's purely on the levels as well and the team play. You have to feel though, Lance, you know, one big team fight swing here. We're looking at 30-40 second death time. It's easily at this point, you know, it could be decided on a coin flip.
I think that it could be for Even Worse Timing, but Dirty Lake and the boys is going to need to win 2 or 3 of those big team fights and get those big team wipes, get a full RGS ace off onto the enemy team, as they only have 1, maybe 2 now tier 2 turrets that have fallen. No. 2 tier 2 turrets are still up for Even Worse Timing at this spot. It's only the mid one has fallen. So Dirty Lake and the boys are going to need to win 2, maybe 3 fights, unless they devote all of their attention to pushing down mid and are able to keep a wave the entire time. It's going to be hard, though.
Toasty goes in, looking for the engage, but members of Even Worse Timing just kite it out. Nitro just a little bit too far, and it's going to be locked up by the skewer, and that's going to be the Sevarog falling. That's a 63-second death timer, and Even Worse Timing still very healthy. You've even got the healing that can come out of Vecron on this phase as well to keep members topped up. There's another Primal Fangtooth available for Even Worse Timing to take here and just to really give them a huge advantage to try and close this one out. They will start it up, but once again, Dirty Lake and the boys are going to be wise to this. They're going to know this is happening. So another opportunity. Can they do it again? Toasty throwing the long-range abilities over the top. Lakenator trying to use the passive, the extended auto-attack range to maybe find something. But Ray is just going to be patient with the Slay and will be able to secure that one as well. So Even Worse Timing, looking to get a grip back on this game, wrestle back control from Dirty Lake and the boys, and especially with that Primal Fangtooth buff.
Right, and as we've been in the game longer, the Primordial Fangtooth gets stronger and stronger. We are at 34 minutes into the game, which means the amount of true damage tick that they will be doing when they inflict damage to Dirty Lake and the boys is enough to burn something hot that I can't think of a good analogy for right now. Burn fire. It's enough to burn fire, and they are going to have to be careful because Even Worse Timing is going to work their way over to this Orb Prime now. They know they've got the combat advantage. They know they can take pretty much any fight they want as long as they get a clean engage, or in case, or if they find somebody stepping out of the spot. And Dirty Lake and the boys really need to be careful because this might be the money fight right here.
Yeah, they're looking for it. Snoop on zoning duty, able to get Nitro away with one of those wolves hitting onto him. Ray is also just waiting in the wings, not actually at the Orb Prime, looking to leverage that the Riplash, maybe get a pick on towards Gratty, maybe try and isolate any target that they can in these situations. But Even Worse Timing, going to pull away from the Orb Prime this time. They're trying to bait members in, looking like they're going to go towards these towers as well. Snoop on the right hand side. Toasty takes a big chunk of damage for their trouble, having to use a double jump to get a little bit to safety. Even Worse Timing, like, they're trying to invite Dirty Lake and the boys in, but they're not biting. However, they still have Prio over this Orb Prime, and Toasty, you know, still taking a damage. Ray starting up the aggro once again, looking for something into the river. Dirty Lake and the boys go, but they just can't find a way into this fight, Lance.
Right, but that's okay for Dirty Lake and the boys right now, because what they are doing is they are wasting Even Worse Timing's time right now. They've got this Primal Fangtooth on them. They do not want to fight for the 3 minutes that buff is on them. And what they're doing right now is, you know, Even Worse Timing aren't gaining anything from this, except for now that they have pulled the trigger on this Prime. It looks like they are going to eat it up super quick with that burn from the Primordial Fangtooth. So it is secured. They are double buffed up again, or actually no, it was Dirty Lake and the boys that was double buffed up before. They're going to turn the tables on that is now, and Dirty Lake and the boys need to be careful as the, you know, the wave pushing power that Orb Prime provides is very strong. That damage that it should be getting actually pretty close to falling off from the Primordial Fangtooth here now as well, but it means Dirty Lake and the boys has to stall for even longer.
Yeah, Inhib's going mid lane and right on the siege. Appy Picker was pulling up on the left-hand side. That's a Riplash going to confirm on towards Nitro. Having to back away. Toasty throws down a containment fence. The curse coming out. Nitro ticking down. But the Sevarog will be able to get back to spawn at least. Breathe a sigh of relief. Dirty Lake and the boys fans after that one. But the Inhib's still on the siege. There's 4 over towards the right-hand side. Another minion wave comes in. Stasis Bomb goes wide. Inhib dropping. Members having to retreat. Lakeinator takes a healthy chunk of damage. Back to the spawn they go. Even worse timing. Rotate now towards the mid lane inhibitor. Snoop is on left-hand side as well. Even worse timing. Gotta give them credit. They're doing this properly. They're doing the 100% completionist run. Mid lane drops. Snoop looking for the left-hand side as well. They're just squeezing the life out of Dirty Lake and the boys at this point. It's going to be one final fight inside of the core to decide this one. The third and final inhibitor will form. Minions coming in. It's going to be an explosive one. It's going to be a 5 versus 5 to decide this one, Lance.
Yeah, we do, and it does look like Even Worse Timing has decided that they are looking to end the game now. They've got 3 waves proxied here. They're going to stop all 3 of them, have their waves come in, pushed uncontested, get that Orb Prime buff onto that, make it hard for for Dirty Lake and the boys to be able to defend them. And here comes the minion rush. We got the Energy Lance coming out. Gonna land onto Nitro, root him down. Lakeinator's gonna take a lot of damage as well, but not quite fall. All kill is gonna go into the turret, and that's just it. Ray is gonna, or Grady is gonna fall right there. Nitro's gonna have to come out, try to be a hero, as they were able to get most of those minions off. Core did take a considerable amount of health, but they have survived the first wave of them. The second wave is going to start to crash as well, and they are starting to look like they are going to focus the tower. They're looking to get it, and that's going to be it. That is game 3, a clean sweep for Even Worse Timing. They become the newest champions of the Prime Championship circuit. Congratulations to them, and a big congratulations to Dirty Lake and the boys for making it this far as well, as they did sweep their way all of the way through quarters and semis as well. Don't want to take anything away from any of our competitors that competed at all today, as they really are the cream of the crop. But at the end of the day, it is Even Worse Timing that ends up victorious.
What a performance. What a set. Even worse, what a team, Lance. Even Worse Timing, securing that crown as well. But, as I say, there's plenty of time to sort of plaudits, and I'm sure the Analyst desk are going to, heap the praise onto Even Worse Timing. But yeah, Dirty Lake and the boys, they did not make that one easy, and there were definitely moments in that game where the belief was coming in. You had moments like Toasty's Riftwalker play outside of the Orb Prime pit as well, the fly trap at the middle inhib. There were signs of life that maybe, just maybe, Dirty Lake and the boys would be able to come back, but Even Worse Timing were just too much. And honestly, some of the plays that we were seeing were just incredible. Honestly, the level of competition every single time we run the PCC just keeps going up and up and up. It's brilliant to watch.
They were cerebral in the way that they went through all of this. They were so calculated and so determined to hit and go and do the specific things that they did. They had a game plan for everything. We saw them basing in unison several different times. We saw them working as a team. What the presence that Ray had through the jungle, the domination that Pablo Wazowski put into the duo lane, the split pushing from the Snoop, and all of the different places he was at. He had to have taken 15 towers throughout the course of that series. Shin pressuring down the mid lane, going even with Appy, or potentially winning some lanes against Appy. Not an easy task. Probably the strongest laning spot that Dirty Lake and the boys did have. Able to kind of hold Appy down, keep him into his place so that he didn't get out of hand in any games. Just top to bottom, this roster from Even Worse Timing putting on a performance for the ages, and maybe potentially the best one we've ever seen in a PCC event.
Yeah, the finalists always bringing just another level of predecessor that we didn't think possible, but here we are. Another bench has been set, and that is going to do it from us on the casting desk. I definitely hope you enjoyed that one as much as you enjoyed that one. We're going to go to the Analyst desk to break down the final game and end the show.
Thank you so much, Lance, Cecil, and thank you, TJ. Please don't forget to, follow them on their socials, subscribe to their Twitch. I know Lance has been streaming from time to time. TJ is an absolute, what a caster as well. I've had the pleasure of casting with him in the Fang Booth tournament. He, tune in and follow his Twitter. But, going back to the game, what a series. Holy Angelina Jolie. What a performance by Even Worse Timing and Dirty Lake and the boys. We were able to witness the greatness Predecessor has to offer. Thank you so much for this spectacular show. Congratulations, 3-0 by Even Worse Timing. That is Ray, Vecron, Shin, Pablo Wazowski, and the Snoop. Spuds, talk to us about, they just won the game.
They won. This was such an emotional ride for me because I was rooting for Dirty Lake and the boys. You love to hear a team come back and sweep. And as they got the overprime for me, I was like, oh man, I'm in my heart. I'm happy. They're about to pull back. This is their comeback story. Then they go to Fang Primal and drop the ball again. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm sad I even rooted for you guys. But oh my God, the entire match was so great. It was so fun to watch. I stopped taking notes. I just completely forgot to take notes. I was too distracted by how great both teams were playing near the end there.
Yeah, and what about you, Trix?
Yeah, completely agree. It was an incredible game. I was super stoked when they got the Orb Prime. They went to the Primal, and yeah, just like we've been talking about, anytime something goes right for Dirty Lake and the boys, something goes wrong, and it was incredibly well disciplined play from Even Worse Timing, and incredible just plays, movements around the map. They moved with intentionality. There was never a dull moment. They were never just to use a Counter-Strike term, just playing defaults. They were always moving to the next thing with a clear goal in mind, is what it felt like, and it was incredible to watch.
Yeah, I loved what Even Worse Timing was able to do. They shook up the meta by playing Morgesh mid lane and picking FaZe on the support. In the pubs, usually these picks don't really work out, but every single player was able to shine and capitalize on the heroes they selected. They worked together in harmony like a one-man band, moving together like an absolute powerhouse of a unit. Congratulations yet again to Even Worse Timing. Any other final remarks or thoughts, or what stood out to you about that last match, Spuds?
Even Worse Timing was hungry. The beast with 10 arms, the AI in the computers was just ready to eat, and they ate the entire team. This entire series was just so fun and great to watch. I couldn't tell you any specific moment in time. Vecron with the pull saving Snoop. That was probably my main moment in time that made me go, okay, they got this. This is them. They're them,
They're them.
They are it.
They are them. They are it. And Trix, what about you? Any final remarks?
Yeah, honestly, I'm a little bit worried about what this is going to do for the competitive scene, because with the rest of these tournaments, you watch the team that wins, it's they were a little bit better. Oh, maybe you and your friends go out, you want to make a team, you're inspired, to say I'm better than those guys. I'm worried that with this one, they're going to look at it and go, I shouldn't try.
Yeah. Now we're going to see a lot more of the FaZe plays and the Morgesh plays in pubs. But, we do have a little bit of something up our sleeve today in the broadcast. We have an interview. Chat has voted, and they were kind of saying that Snoop should be the MVP. And you know what? He is going to be our MVP. Snoop, are you in here?
Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
Congratulations on winning our 4th PCC tournament. How are you feeling right now?
Feeling pretty chill, It's another day in the office, some light work.
You made it this far. Are we going to be, seeing more of you guys in the next tournaments?
It all depends, I kind of just do what Shinka says. Former Paragon champ winner Shinka.
Yeah. What do you think worked the most for you and your team?
Realistically, I think it was just a macro diff every game, and also the drafting. Like you said, you've seen a lot of heroes that you don't normally see, and I really don't understand why. Like, I feel like we had so much pressure around objectives and like the split push, and like no, they could never answer the split push, because especially like in the game against like the professors and stuff, like when I was just able to take inhib, like if Sev ever goes to a team fight, then like the whole map explodes. You just siphon the map every game.
Yeah, and they even tried to take Shinbi away from you. But, going back to that, what didn't work for you, though, and how are you guys able to turn things around?
What do you mean, like in the game 2 when they took Shinbi?
Yes, but one of those things, or maybe when we saw some signs of life from Dirty Lake and the boys, or were you just confident that those games were yours?
No, I was completely confident. Even in that last game, like I know that we had like lost a prime in the Fangtooth objective, but like even still, like we were always so far ahead. Pablo was doing absolutely so much, like massive amounts of damage. I was like always pressuring the map and like siphoning the whole map, stealing jungles, like crashing waves, taking towers everywhere. And yeah, Vecron was doing some absolutely fucking massive plays, making Pablo look like he's not a mutt when he's running it down.
Yeah, you guys
Me
did.
included.
Yep. You guys did amazing. Trix, do you have any questions for the Snoop at all?
Yeah, I've got one real quick. What do you think it is that you do differently than other offlaners that kind of sets you apart and makes you better than they are?
I mean, in these games specifically, I feel like it was just playing lane state. But as far as like the game as a whole, I don't know, because I mean, I don't actually play the game. I mean, I think I went into this tourney and like probably almost like nobody knew who I even was, except for like some of the players on the teams that had like played the other remakes. But like I don't play this game. Like I just signed up for this tourney and like played a few pubs this week, and that was it. And that's like the same. Like I know Pablo used to play a lot, but even still, like really, like we don't actually really play the game. It's not like we have like a deeper understanding. We just cooked up some shit in pubs. We played some scrims. We dropped a few scrims actually, but I mean, like we just unwashed and pulled up, and like I said, it was just another day in the office.
I am curious though. Can you tell us what your logo means? Like, why is it a hamster?
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to ask Jinx about that. I can't actually tell you.
Well, congratulations.
Classified information.
Oh, classified information. Thank you so much, Snoop, for joining us in this interview. All right. Well, congratulations. You guys sweet. Do you have any socials or Twitter maybe or Twitch? How are people going to keep up with you?
No, I don't stream or like have anything like that. And I mean, as far as like playing the game goes, like probably not gonna play for a little bit again until like another tournament comes out. So not really a way to keep track of me. I'll just go back and lurking in the shadows, pull up for another tournament.
Thank you so much, Snoop. Snoop Dogg. All right, and now we're back to the desk. I want to thank everybody for being a part of our 4th Prime Championship circuit. Thank you to the players, the admin, the casters, the desk analysts, Trix, and Spuds. How are we going to keep up with you guys? Do you have any socials that, how will chat keep up with you?
I don't have socials, but you can follow me at twitch.tv/SpudsTheTuber.
Don't keep up with me.
Don't keep up with Trix. I do want to say thank you specifically to Joelster, Choice Plays, running the show, behind the scenes, F6, Stranger, Geronimo Jack, Hot Sauce, Joe Yours Truly, Lance, Cecil, Spooky Mars, Spuds. Thank you. Tedium, TJDJ, Trix yet again, Mugiwawa, Eps, Belgian Kana, and Sapphire Drake. My apologies to those I forgot to mention. But of course, I have to say thank you to the community who supports us. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the follows. We very much appreciate it. And of course, if you want more of me, I do stream Twitch, from time to time. It's the same Rdawggg with the triple G's, and I have a Twitter as well. But boy, do we have some big news for you. Our next event in August is going to be our biggest one yet. This is going to be a 2-day main event. Before you guys go, not only will you watch the best of the community get to come together and compete to see who's the top dog of the PCC, but we're going to start off with a massive $3,000 prize pool. You heard it? I'm going to say it one more time. $3,000 prize pool. So don't miss out on Predecessor's biggest chance yet to show off what your skills are and, add a little bit of moolah in your pocket. Group play will be open to everyone. That includes NA, NA East, NA West, wherever you are from, and of course, EU. And so we are encouraging you and all your friends to get in and show the passion that we know the Predecessor community has to offer. If you want more of us, stay tuned to our Twitter, YouTube, Discord for more updates. We'll have them for you soon. And if you aren't already, please hit the follow button, subscribe, and give us our Prime sub if you haven't already. Subscribe to the YouTube. Thank you so much, everyone. I don't know if we are going to be, I think we're going to be raiding somebody but the end of this tournament. I'm not quite sure yet. I guess it might just be a surprise, but make sure to please give them some love. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, and congratulations yet again to Even Worse Timing for taking the crown and winning the 4th Prime Championship circuit.